these away. I should probably adjust the camera. And the light. And everything else. Falling apart at the seams. Hello. Sorry, I had to click on something real quick. Yo, what's up? Hey Neil, what's going on? Gavin. You're playing the Iron Banner? Did a little bit of that this week. Got mesh made with a level 2 20 light. Nice. In Iron Banner? Okay, so we got this done. Playing MK11 beta. So we got this done. We got this done. We got this done. And now, I think we got this done. Yeah, we got this done. So now we're going to work on the next part, which is either going to be this guy, which I don't think is going to be this guy because we still need to do the internal magwell, and I don't feel like doing that, and it would feel weird if I finished the texture before I finish the magwell. So I think we're going to keep putting this off a little bit more, and I think we're going to skip straight over to the upper rail mount. And so, like I've said before, this entire top section right here is going to be untouched because I want to keep it as flat as possible because the entire top rail is going to cover it anyway. You're not going to see it anyway. And so we're not going to mess with this top bit at all, but we will on the sides and stuff like that. So I need a few tools. I need a screwdriver and I also need my scribe downstairs. So I'm going to go get those real quick. Our mods, what's going on, Ryan? How's it going? Homely? Good to see you. I shall be back in 1 second. I wonder where my metric Allen wrenches went. That is always the case, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, might you see at Nwar if I can find a adult. That barely made sense. Oh, can you mail those thingies soon? Went to work on them. Nwar loadout. Yes, I need to get those out. I apologize for the extreme delay, and I apologize for sucking. I know that doesn't make up for it, but everything is sitting on my desk, so if it makes you feel better, every day I put it off, it is clustering the hell out of me. Okay. Let's get these off. These are not metric, so I don't even know if I'm able to remove these properly. If not, I'll just get my Torx. That's a little loose, but it'll work. Maybe. Yes, it does. Of course, now it's completely jammed in there, and I'm having trouble. There we go. Let's put these in their proper position. Oh, before I undo this last one, that's the whole reason why I got scribed. Just gonna mark where this is coming in contact with this, so that I don't have to sand the entire thing. my fancy Starrett scribe. And you can barely see that mark right there. So we'll sand all that and keep all that. Let's get rid of these. Okay. So, how did we do this before? First thing, we probably need a new piece of paper here. We have this. It's a little dirty. It's not technically dull yet. It's just very dirty, because we were wet sanding before. I guess we can use this. Aluminum dust. Don't breathe this. I'm very far away from this. Leaning back as far as I can. The finest of aluminum. Alright. So this was the second piece that I made, the first one being this. And you can see where I've kind of messed up a little bit here and there from chatter. Because obviously this thing is no short piece. So I had it hooked up with two vices right here and here. But every now and again, I was holding it like this and this. And then this guy kind of vibrated a little bit because it was, you know, yay far out of the chuck or whatever. Or out of the vice. And so, you live, you learn. But it kind of left this nasty chatter on here. But we'll be able to get rid of all of that. And you can actually see on this side where all these holes are all these slots are slightly scooted over. I actually did my math wrong, and I grazed the surface just to make sure that that's where it was supposed to be. And luckily I did, because I was indeed off. So I'm glad I did that. So there are little marks, but I didn't scrap the piece. And since I'm doing this texture, I'm going to be able to fix it anyway. Might have to actually start with the file here, but I also don't want to damage this line right here, so I do need to be careful. So I might switch back and forth here until I find out what's working best. But I do have some ground to cover. There are some sharp angles here that I need to preserve. So I might go through a few different tools before I find the one that works correctly. Let's try this guy. So how's everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? Sunday evening? Whatever. How's everybody feeling today? There's some deep textures in there that I'm trying to get rid of. You can see that line is still there, so it's just going to take a little elbow grease. Trying not to soften these edges, but I do need to get up on the edges, so I think this texture right here is going to be the worst of it, hopefully, because this is the part where the chatter is at the most. We got these marks up here, but these are relatively shallow compared to this guy up here, so not great, but not bad. I feel you. You know, before I get any further, I might actually put on gloves, because I remember this chewed up my hands last time. Oh, conveniently I have some gloves right here. I'll just put on one for now. Might be a nice quiet stream today. That's alright. Yes, this is going to get tiresome very, very quickly. Again, I want to be careful here because I'm not trying to change the geometry. I'm just trying to clean up the surface from its flaws. So I don't want to change the angle on that bevel or anything. You know what, these holes might actually be more work just because it's not on a flat surface. Well, it's on a flat surface, but the holes kind of make it hard to do anything in a long stroke. Has your package come in yet? What package? Oh, the one that was late? Yeah, it came in. Finally. Took their sweet time. That was the two Fearless Fires that I posted on Instagram. Trying to do this without damaging anything. I'd rather go slow. I'd have trouble getting in that very corner. Hey Pirate, what's going on? Was modding a little earlier? What were you working on? Angles on this are so weird with these holes here. It's actually really difficult. That's not working. Well, sort of. Not really. Mag now fits in the light commander pretty well on the side so far. That's good. Never mind, yeah, these textures are more deep in there than I thought. So they're going to be just as much of a pain in the ass as the first one. Great. It's barely scratching the surface. It's like 2,000ths, but I mean, 2,000ths is a lot when you're trying to scrape it away by hand with a hand file and sandpaper. I'm just glad I have the opportunity to fix these. Hey, what's going on, man? How's your Sunday going? I'd call that anything but perfect, but if you look at that finish compared to up here where you can see those imperfections and stuff, that's significantly better. And we still need to hit with the Scotch-Brite, so. Is there a good way to clean the dust out of files? Yeah. They have specific pads for it, but you can just get a wire brush. Use a brass one. You don't want to steal one. And then you can go with the green. And some of these bigger chunks that might be a little bit harder to get out of the file. See these chunks right there? You can just kind of take a razor blade or something. It's going to dull your razor blade like hell. But you can go with the green and just kind of lightly pluck those out. You don't want to go too heavy on this because remember, hard file, hard knife, something has to give. So you don't want your file to give. You'd much rather have this give. But you don't know the hardness of this, so just kind of treat it with some care. But you can just pluck these little guys loose. You shouldn't have too many with plastic though. And then you can come back with the brush and get it out. I want Slim Jim flavor. Okay. Wait, Hawkeye, you mean make metal parts? Wait, Hawkeye, you make metal parts. Yes, I'm a machinist. This is the top rail mount for Pocket Javelin. If you look up the hashtag Pocket Javelin on Instagram, you'll find it. Or you can just look on my Instagram. Link in the description, I think. Should be. Working on retexturing. These are little cheap modeling files meant for plastic, so they're not the highest quality. But I mean, they were like $9 for the set that I got, so I can't complain too bad. I bet if I used the Irwin one, it would be a little bit better. Hey, what's up, RZ? I mean, you can probably still look up stuff on there, right? Although it is owned by Facebook, so you never know. I feel like it's technically taking off more than the black-handled one, but I feel like it's also coarser, which is giving me less control. And it's actually a little harder to maneuver, but it's still doing the work, so. I mean, smoking is for losers. I remember that time 2 a.m. to nightfall, which go to bed afterwards. Oh, is that you? Okay. I'm alright, RZ. I'm hanging in there. Staying busy, of course. Life has its ups and downs. I feel like this texture is not coming together as well. These are some hard angles I have in here, unfortunately. There we go. There we go, that's a little better. I think the other side will go a little bit easier, hopefully, because there's no defects in the texture there. So it's just getting rid of the standard mill finish on the other side. Hopefully this is the worst of it for this piece. My machine shop hasn't messaged me back. It's been 2.5 weeks and I want to start CNCing. Are you certified in CNCing, or are you learning, or what? It's been 2.5 weeks. They might not message you back. There we go. Just need a little more elbow grease there. Gotta dig into it. Any thoughts on the new Nerf blasters? What ones? Which new ones are you talking about? Like the Trinity or whatever? Those ones, or are you talking about something different? No, I'm hiring someone to CNC and I'm learning along the way. It's just strange since it's been going back for talk to them in person. I don't know. I would message them again maybe and see if they didn't overlook your last message, because I have had companies do that several times. As unprofessional as it is, they just like miss your last conversation. Happened several times when I was trying to order those XP 180s. Hold on, give me one sec. Answering my phone. We're almost there. One step at a time. I'm a little out of frame here. That's alright. like Trilogy, Titan, Zombie Strikes thing, Zombie Strife thing, the rival. Trilogy I really want. I would really like a Trilogy. The Titan's cool, but it's way too big, and I don't have any place for that right now. I'm trying to think what you mean by the Zombie Strife thing. I know what you're talking about, but I just can't picture it for some reason. But I think the Trilogy is what I'm looking forward to the most. Which is sad, because that's kind of like a novelty thing and kind of like a... I'm just curious about the mechanism type thing. Big rapid strike, but semi-auto. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I would need to look up a picture. I can't think of what it is. Brain's dead. I know what you're talking about. I just can't picture it for some reason. Grains make... Oh, yep. Electrical sounds. There it is. Yeah, that's definitely something from, like, Fallout. Like a plasma weapon from Fallout or something. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I mean, it's interesting. It's not really my style. Believe it or not. I know, that seems like a shock. I know I'm all over the place with my mods. If you look at my portfolio, you'll just see I'm everywhere with my designs. That's sarcasm, by the way. I mean, that's not surprising in the slightest. I didn't expect it to. Not to mention, you could see that they weren't Sledgefire shells from the initial pictures, just nobody wanted to believe that. I could probably do this one on a flat. Let me get this first. This is a lot of surface. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. That's a lot of surface. It's gonna take forever. Not to mention it's uncomfortable to hold for some reason. Yeah, that's not working. Need to be careful. Doesn't feel like I'm moving a lot of material, but with this, the edge of this file, I'm moving quite a bit of material. It'd be really easy to misshape this. It's deceptively effective. For this last bit, I'll use the big paper. So I can swirl it around a little. Ooh, my arm. Before, after. There we go. I think that looks much better. It's more even. I'm liking that evenness. Whether you like the shiny on this side more or the dull on this side, what I'm looking at is just the evenness between them. So like you can see all those little scratches and stuff that are all over this thing, which you just kind of can't help, and that's just going to show up. But since this entire thing is like that, those don't really stand out that much, and it looks way more even. Not to mention all those texture issues I fixed on this side, just completely gone now, so at work, but this is more important. Hey, Prickly, what's up? That is looking mighty nice. I'm way happier with that. Can't wait to show you this. Show this to you guys. It's full glory. Hopefully this side doesn't take as much work, but I'm not holding my breath. I should not start with this because that's a lot easier. I'm wondering if I should take some... kind of use this as a stick. There's a little bit of texture issue here that I'll have to work out. Nothing compared to the other side though. Oh, yeah, this side's much easier. Mainly doing the this side of this entire rail. I still need to get close on this side right here, but I'll get there. One step at a time. It's definitely the stupidest thing I've ever done in Nerf. Make a blaster completely out of metal. The thing's basically unwieldable to most people, and it is completely unwieldable to me. Not because of the sheer weight, but because of my left elbow. It's not really up for Springer primes. It's just my messed up left elbow. I've always had an issue with it. And so this thing is basically unwieldable. But I mean, like, that's not the point. So everybody's talking about like, oh, what's the performance you're getting out of it, and how do you plan on improving it, and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff, and yada yada yada. It's like that's not really 100% the point that I was trying to do with this project, but I can see why you would think that. I am putting quite a bit of effort into this. Hey Sonic, what's up? Did I miss? That's not saying much, bud. Just sanding, texturing, I guess we're calling it instead of sanding. But I mean, let's be real. How's you, dude? I've been better, but I'm hanging in there. I'm alright. Can't complain too much. There are more people worse off than I am, and I just got a hole in my glove. Great. I feel like that one went by faster than my previous set of gloves. Just think, that could have been my hand. I feel like I've watched you sand for the better part of 2 years. I mean, you're not wrong. Hawkeye's lungs are 30% plastic shavings and by weight, yeah. And 5% aluminum. I don't know what's worse, you sanding for 2 years or me watching it. It's still entertaining though. Thanks. What's sad? What's sadder? Me, like, you watching it, or like me doing it? So I'm at least you can stop watching. I mean, I guess I can technically stop sanding, but I mean, that's not gonna get me anywhere. See the loop I'm in? Jack, what's going on? I'm not sure if someone else posted this question, but would some form of sandblasting help sanding and texturing, or would it eat away at the material too fast, too slow? I think the problem would be that it would eat away too evenly, believe it or not. Some of these, like these small texture issues that I was having over here, I think it would be fine, but I had a major texture issue in this area, and I think I would have to hand sand that anyway. But for overall, like stuff that's completely even like this, it would be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have a sandblaster. I know you can get them for relatively cheap, but honestly, I just haven't invested in it, and I wouldn't be able to live stream these things if I had one, because I'd have to do that outside, so I'm not really motivated to do it anyway. Maybe in the future when I have my own shop, when I have my own thing, not to mention I don't really have the space for it. So when I move out, maybe I'll have a little bit of extra space for it, but not really right now. But that is viable. I would have to be careful of losing some definition in these corners though, but I think that could easily be avoided with a skilled hand. My other half, I'm gonna have to answer that in a second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Also still need to do inside of these slots, which is not going to be the most fun. Why you know small circle? What? Do you care to elaborate on that? Ooh, need to be careful. Don't want to start rounding that off. Why are you not sanding in small circle pattern? Because that's the finished. Well, the small I want as big as circles as I can for the randomness, but I'm also just using a file right now just to get rid of the original texture, and I'm not actually going flat. I'm actually leaning it a little bit so that I can scrape the edge of the file because it takes off more material. But I'm just trying to get rid of the original pattern so I don't need to actually do the circles yet. I will in a second here. Ow. Now that I've gotten rid of that texture, for the most part, I'm going to come back with this and start doing those circle patterns. It's actually really hard to grab onto this thing with this inner lip here. It's also aluminum. Aluminum isn't magnetic. Whoops. Shines up real nice. It's ferrous. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so much better. I was really scared to do this at first, because it's like it already looked great. Don't get me wrong. Like I was really nervous about this because I didn't want to ruin it. But like at the end of the day, like that's what holds people back a lot, and that's what I'm always like preaching, right? Is if you're doing an integration, just do it. Like don't try to half-ass it because you're like scared you're gonna break something or whatever, and then you're just limiting yourself. And then at the end of the day, you're not happy with what you did because you were too scared to do what you wanted to do originally. It's like I had to follow my own advice. Just shut up and do it. Where it's like this took, hundreds of hours to machine out this whole thing, and I'm happy with the results, but I know I could take it one step further. But I just had to take a leap of faith, and actually start freaking taking sandpaper and files to this thing, and risk ruining it basically. But I'm glad I did, because it's come a really long way. Going to index this thing with this so that it has a relatively even finish on both of these. There's a bit of groove here that I'm going to have to scrape out. I don't know if you can see that. That line right there. I want to get that out. Pretty deep, but I think it should be okay. There it goes. And it's gone. Very, very nice. See, it's like those kind of imperfections that I just wouldn't be able to do anything about if I kept this original texture. There'd just be absolutely nothing I could do about it. And that would be infuriating in the long run. This texture also lends itself well to further scratches in the future. They'll be a lot less noticeable. And then just, sand them out if I really, really wanted to, if it's a really bad one or something. Okay, now I just need to do this entire back half here, which is obviously a lot easier. I might actually be able to get away with a flat surface here, but I think I'm just going to do it with the file just because it's a little long and awkward to hold on to. I'm trying to do the circle thing. I'd have to like glue the paper down because I wouldn't be able to hold it. I'd have to be doing this, hold it like that. I just don't feel like doing that right now. Ow! Painful consequences if you miss. When you miss. I'll come back, slightly lighter touch, and add that finish, a circular pattern. You can probably see why that's not really efficient to do from the beginning, because that'd be forever, just, you know, barely taking off anything. Somewhere, someone living their entire life RPing as T300, and this is their kink. Look how nice and even that is. That's beautiful. I'm so happy with that. That's so much better. Feel that arm burn. Okay, now we'll come back and do the texture. And Scotch-Brite. Very nice. Okay, now really the only thing we have to do, I don't think I technically have to do under here, but I want to keep, it's kind of visible underneath here, so I think I'm going to run that really quick, but that one is small enough where I might actually be able to do it flat here. My right hand. Welcome back. Didn't miss much, believe it or not. I know, hard to imagine. No problem. I'm here for your background. There we go. Not perfect, but it's underneath, so. Just do it real quick. You can see that I didn't get all the texture out or whatever, but it's underneath. The clear tube is right here, so it's going to be hard to see anyway. Just didn't want to completely ignore it. I decided to give another shot at the Alpha Trooper and Rapid Strike stock with a few tricks up my sleeve. Look forward to it. Hopefully it comes out good this time. At the very least, I hope it's a good learning experience. The more subtle these angles, the easier it is to change its geometry by accident. Hope it doesn't get smashed in the end like before, yeah. There we go. And I think that's mostly done. Just a little bit less work than I was anticipating on this one. For how tall it is, how long it is. That wasn't terrible. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for this. Because this is a completely different story, ain't it? It's a little bit messy down here, just because that's like stock material. So I think I'm just going to lightly Scotch-Brite it just to get rid of that. But Scotch-Brite won't change anything. Just clean it up a little bit. This won't be visible from the outside. I'm just cleaning it up for my sake. You can already see the difference there. Now, if only that was that easy. I might just try to Scotch-Brite this up. I might not even add the texture to it. It might not be worth it. Although I need a new piece of Scotch-Brite. There we go. Much better. It's amazing what a new piece would do. Honestly, yeah, I think this piece will be fine just to brighten it up. I don't think it's going to be worth putting the texture on. This is just destroying this piece of Scotch-Brite here, doing this. I need to stop doing that. So this right here needs to be finished up a little bit. Just a touch. Okay, let's think here. I mean, I think this is just gonna have to do. I really don't want to do this individually. It's like rubbing it on a cheese grater. It's just destroying it. But it's quick. I think that'll do. Didn't need much work anyway. Although I have wanted to flatten this front here. This might make it come up a little bit short, but that's alright. Rather have it come up a little short and be a good texture. Go. Not much work needed on that. Again, I think that's going to make it come up short on our part just a little bit, but that's alright. Just a hair, but that's okay. Okay. Now where do we go from here? What pieces do we have left? I'm trying to assemble this in my brain, and it seems like there should be more, but there really isn't. We're actually getting rather close, which is weird. I think this is the last major piece. Now we still have the rods, but I think that's it. Actually pretty close. Weird. Obviously this little bit, but this isn't going to take but a second. screw this. Hard to hold on to. This is the underside, so it doesn't technically need anything, but give it just a little bit of attention. Hey Kotek, what's up? Man, it's not just me, it looks like everyone's getting hit by low view counts on live streams. That's so weird. I mean, I've never really kept a huge following anyway. Oh, check it out. Just got this done. Look how much more even that is. Got all the imperfections out. Like, excuse me, had a lot of chatter here, and we got all that out. Looks so much better. It's way more even now. I didn't touch this top at all because it's going on the Picatinny anyway. I wanted to keep it flat. But look how much more even that is. So much better. I'm not giving this underside a lot of attention here, but that's okay. I just noticed my glove is starting to fall apart in places. I mean, it's been falling apart, let's be honest, but more falling apart. Thank you. Normally we're both sitting between like 20 and 35, but last few weeks has been like 5, 7. Well, I haven't had a good view count since I really stopped doing content. Like it's been on the slow decline, especially after, what's it called? What was that last blaster I did? Glass Construct. Especially after that one. It just like kind of died. But I mean, that's kind of to be expected. I'm kind of dying off of this anyway. Ooh, ooh, that's warm. I don't know what I was expecting, but the friction. I do need to put an angle on this back eventually. Might as well do that now. Let's make sure that I'm not doing this upside down. I'll just eyeball it here. Doesn't need to be any sort of precise angle, obviously. You could have done this on the mill. I know I could have done this on the mill. Shut up. want to do this on the mill. Probably. You gotta remember, I like making my life difficult. Wait, friction belts heat? Crazy concept! I know. I should win a Nobel Prize. Friction equals heat. Everybody applauds. I don't know if I want to get that deeper or if that's deep enough. Maybe a little deeper. If I took this to work, I could be done with this in literally 3 seconds, but what fun would that be? There we go. I think that's to a point where I like. Hey Austin, what's going on, man? Sending again. Woo, this is coming. Yeah. Here, I'll show you something in a second. Show you what we were working on earlier. It's a lot more exciting than this little bob. Here. Much more even. You remember all that chatter that was on here? Look how much more even that is. Much better. Just got some dominoes. I'm happy. Nice. Need to wash all these before I put them back together. Oh god. Now really the only work left is the magazine well. That's really the only work left, and I'm still dreading every freaking minute of that. I'm still in denial about the whole thing, to be honest. Look how clean my right hand is compared to that. I should have put the glove on my other hand. Get paid tomorrow? Hey, that's always good. So Hawkeye, what sophisticated method are you using to get the magazine into the magazine well? Well, something called my eyeball and luck. And patience, which is a set that I don't really have. Now it did start to go in a little bit. We got it about this far, which means we are very, very close. At least that's what I really, really want to tell myself. We got some uneven spots here and there. We need to dial it in a few spots that I can visually see. which means we got a while to go in some places. But we're almost to the point where I need to start inking this up and then doing it that way. Which basically the whole thing is going to be basically put Sharpie on the inside of here and then ram this on the inside of here and then see what's rubbing off and then file down those locations. At least that's the theory. Look, to be fair, eyeball. Yeah. Now when you decide to waste katanas only on now is when you decide you wanted katana only magwell. Well, I mean, this is I've fit all of the other different ones, and the katana one is the widest one. So if it fits a katana, it should be able to fit a regular magazine just fine. I had someone here somewhere, but it should fit a normal one just fine if it can fit this. So technically you can swap back and forth, but yeah. Okay, I don't know if I can put this off anymore. This is terrible, and I hate myself. I don't wanna. Let me just clean off my file. I need to clean the file. Look how dirty it is. I can't wait for all of the complaints. Why aren't you using workers? Why? Why isn't it this way? Shut up. It's my blaster. I'll do whatever the hell I want. At least that's going to be my response. I'll probably be nicer than that in the long run, but just know I'm thinking that. Now I'm stalling. See how I'm cleaning this very precisely because I want to keep my file nice? Yeah, now I'm stalling. This is what stalling looks like. I want to keep my file nice. Shut up and start, you idiot. I'm just kidding. I don't care because you're in the background anyway. To be fair, I do really want to keep my file nice, but yes, I'm totally stalling. Why aren't you using Vorpal mags? Yeah. Because 3D printed. You think the whole freaking reason why I did this is because I didn't like 3D printed stuff. And then I was like, I'll make it out of plastic. That's too easy. I'll make it out of something more difficult. I hate myself. That was the train of thought, by the way. I don't give a fuck what you use as long as it's fun to use. Let's not... it's not even going to be usable. It's just... I mean, it'll be usable, just not by me, because I have a bad left arm. Or a bad left elbow. Tools and tools, clean them up best you can. If they break... You spelled break wrong. Break, replace them. That tray of blue screws is really nice. Thank you. I got the trigger in there as well. And check it out. I don't know if I showed you this, Alice, but I have a 14-inch plastic ruler on my desk, just like in case I'm like looking something online and I want to see like a visual reference. Except since I got my 6-inch scale from work, or not from work, but for work, I've hated that plastic one, so I actually got a 12-inch proper scale. So it's more well, not more accurate, but you know, it's nicer. I'm already sick of this. I've put like 10 strokes into this and I'm already sick of this. Did you see the new toy I got? Which one? Probably not. Ode to sanding. I hate you. That is all. The Shapeoko 3XL. After taking and working with mine, I have no idea what that is. Oh yeah, speaking of, I found a Berserker at my local Goodwill, $2.99. Nice. I see metal. Dust, so I know I'm technically doing something, but god dang, does it feel like I'm doing nothing. CNC router. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Which one is better, 4B tank or XPZ? I would say XPZ just because it's more versatile. The 4B is loved by many, but its physical shape kind of limits it to what it's good at doing. I don't know if it's technically better, like higher PSI or whatever, but I would say the XPZ just because it's a more traditional shape. It has a built-in QEV into it and different stuff like that, so, I mean, you know. As an air volume. Again, I've no idea. For sure. I couldn't tell you. You'd have to look up the volumes. I think there's some volume information online, but I'm not going to promise anything. I really should get Dicom. I've been telling myself that I need Dicom forever, and I just haven't gotten it. The metal XPZ tank actually has less volume, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure it has less volume. I know it can hold more PSI, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Whoa, okay, I missed something. Factor is pretty much being market when was unfinished of the project proof. Take on the like a champ. That's cool. As in everything such steel. So to be honest, I'm using blue Sharpie for all my metal work, and it's not as good as I can, but it's good enough for me. Well, yeah, I mean Sharpie's fine, but the application is a lot better, and then you're gonna go through a short ton of Sharpies if you're if you're using that like Dicom. At least in the way that it's meant to be used. to the point now where I need to keep constantly checking what I'm doing, because it's going to be incredibly easy to go way too far on this once I start dialing it in. And so what I actually might start doing is putting some on here and seeing where it's scraping off. And I know everyone's going to be like, oh my god, you're ruining the clear thing. I'm pretty sure I can get this off later. I'm like 90% sure I can get this off later without an issue. What the hell does that mean, Hawkeye? Don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry. On a scale of 1 to worry, I wouldn't. See what I mean? It's not exactly even. Like, might just go and it'd be done. I was gonna say, worst case scenario, I have to sand it. It looks like shit. It looks like freaking garbage. It looks like hot garbage. It's so bad. That's so uneven. That's pissing me off. If you bought the right thing in the first place when you should have, Hawkeye, shut up! Leave me and my Sharpie alone. I might go on Amazon immediately after this and get like them. I'm not sure where to get it in stores. You probably can somewhere, but it'd just be easier to get it off Amazon, to be perfectly honest. That'd be weird if Lowe's sold it. I think I've looked there before. I seriously doubt they would ever sell something like that. Luckily, I bought a pack of 36 Sharpies a while ago because I was sick of not having them when I needed them around the house. So I bought a huge pack of 36 of them. Well, that goes on much nicer. I should have used this one from the beginning. And I just took a fistful of them and put them in different locations in the house. So now there's Sharpies all over the house. Well, that goes on 140,000 times better. I should have started with this. Of course, it's too late now. It's just gonna smear weird. Yeah, that's right. It's a thought that counts or something. If you can afford the best tool, the knockoff will do just. If you can't afford the best tool, the knockoff will do just fine. See, that's not the philosophy that I have in the slightest. If you can't afford the tool, save up for it. Is usually my philosophy, because if you can find a way to use it once, you can probably find a way to use it another time, and you're going to be grateful that you have it. I know a lot of people that have tried to convince me that it's more, hey, Armods, what's going on? Working on the magazine well, because I realize that this is really the only piece I have left and I can't procrastinate anymore. But I've had people try to convince me that like it's more money efficient, it's more whatever efficient to like do it that way or whatever, rent tools even, that kind of thing. But I'm just a huge firm believer in like people might look at Alice and be like, why'd you get a CNC router? That's so stupid. When you can, like, I had someone try to convince me that going to a worker or a maker space would be more cost efficient to go there. But it's like, Alice can just go have an idea, take 3 steps over to her CNC router, and implement that idea in just a few minutes. You can't do that when you have a subscription to some place where you have to go, even if it's only like 5 or 10 minutes from your house. Just that break in that creative fluid there is a huge deal. That's a huge, huge deal to have. And just having that where you need it when you need it is a huge deal. So I'm a firm believer in the proper tools for the proper job. But that's just me. Must be new here, talking to Hawkeye about cheap tools. Can I make it? No, you can't. Maybe a CNC engraver. I just need material and time. Alright. Let's jam this in here and scrape away some. Huh. I don't know what I was expecting, but it actually worked. Weird. So yeah, right where I was expecting it, I need these 4 corners. That was already there, by the way, that mark. You can see a little bit rubbing there. Rubbing there. Pretty much where I expected it. It's not a shock in the slightest. Pace yourself. Test parts on the entire CNC is giant chain. Seriously, some people got better results than others. The motion system extremely unreliable. The new one you got looks sick. Just need to reinforce a couple things and get better motors. Too fast might generate heat. Hey, that's my theory. Yes, I can see why I'm putting this off. Boy, this just sucks the fun out of modding, doesn't it? Like looking around for the other blocks right there. Need to find a good angle here. Hold on 1 second. Glad you picked up. support Nerf my sand. I'm glad I picked up Nerf to support my sanding hobby. Yeah. Gavin is screeching to see the Caliburn I bought. What? Hey, by the way, please. You got a Caliburn? Remember to lean in all of your body weight on the hardened file. So when it snaps, it goes in your eyeball. This is just the worst. I'm gonna keep complaining. There's nothing you guys can do about it. I'm glad. I'm excited to see this thing finish so I can drop it when you tried to put it in my hands at N-War. Yeah. I know at least 3 people that will kill you. So the sandbox is going to be nice and full. Definitely not saving any of the metal. Hold on 1 second, let me reply to this. Will you, I'm assuming that's auction it off at any point? Absolutely not. The amount of money that would be required to obtain this Caliburn in particular, I don't like calling it a Caliburn because I feel like I put too much work into it to be called a Caliburn when people are printing them. But the amount of money that it would take to obtain Pocket Javelin is nothing short of absolutely absurd. So the answer is no. The box, not the blaster. Oh, I don't see a point. Everyone's joking about it, but in reality, I don't see a point. I won't say an exact price, but think down payment on a house. I've sold way more than, or way less than this for way more than people are offering. So especially after this stupid freaking magwell. I'm doing this differently next time. I'm gonna make this into like 2 or 3 different pieces that I can fit together. I thought about cutting this in half when I was designing it, and then I could mill the inside of this, but I wanted it one solid piece. For this, it's fine, but if I'm ever doing this again, there's no freaking way I'm cutting that directly in half. There's no way I'm doing this again. Like I said, I'm not putting a direct number on it. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, definitely 5 figures. Pinky raises the edge of mouth, yeah. Down payment on a house, not full payment on a house. Neo. Which, you know, obviously people are going to be like, that's absolutely absurd, but I mean, it's like, This is less of a Nerf gun and more of a piece of art that I've been working on for the past 5 freaking years, so... If you want one, make it yourself. Yeah, machinist man hours ain't cheap, yo. The Lone Star that I'm working for right now, my boss basically was like, because I'm helping him to teach right now because he's a pretty busy guy, and they just lost a teacher, so he's taking over some classes, and so he needed my help with some things. So I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching, and so I was helping him and stuff. And then he was basically like, we require 5 years experience, unfortunately. And you're probably not going to want to because it's not going to pay very well compared to where you're going to be at. But if you want to come back, we can offer you a teaching job. I was like, sweet. Just out of curiosity, what would the pay be like? Because, he said it wasn't very good. He's like, oh, like $40 an hour. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, that's supposed to be bad? But... especially for a freaking teaching job. Alright, let's see where we're at. It's been 5 years since you started. Dang. Since I started this project, yeah. I mean, I do have a CNC that can do, like, things. I mean, I have access to like has machines and stuff at school. Designed for years, machining for months, I assume. Yes. I've only been working on this version of Pocket Javelin, or like physically working on it, for a year. I started last year, machining this out. I mean, have y'all seen EDM drilling? Yes, I have. There's better than what I make. That's better than what I make. Yeah, if there's something you enjoy, you would be... good God, I'm having trouble. Yeah, if it's something you enjoy, too, would be a solid career option. Yeah, exactly. If I like teaching more, then... I wish I got that for teaching. That's all I could think of, because my sister's a teacher, so... I was like, I bet she would like that. My girlfriend's dad had a wire EDM laying around for years. Said, if you want one, make it yourself. And I pretty much could now. I know backup career option plan C is not a thing. God, I can't teach for shit. Nice, I would. EDM. Hey, we're actually getting over 10 viewers today. Weird. Welcome, everybody, to the blank show that is Hawkeye. I'm trying to fit this thing in there. I can't tell if it went in further. It's also backwards. That's the thing. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe like a hair. That's good. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be those corners for a while here, I think. Same smudges, same exact spots. Oh my god, I hate myself. Katana. I designed this thing well before the katana came out, and there's no fudging way. I'm pretty sure that it would fit after I do all this, but there's no fudging way I'm going to make it for the talents on purpose. There has to be a better way than this, right? Like, I'm clearly missing something. I'm clearly doing something wrong. There has to be a better way. There's always another option. There's always a better way. And I'm taking the long route here. So what am I missing? There has to be... I know I'm procrastinating about it, but like, there has to be a better way that I'm not seeing right now. I mean, that seems like I could take off way too much very, very quickly. I'd have to use something really freaking small. Like, physically to get in there. Like, not even to... Like, I'm talking like the little round bit. Just kind of chip away. Because I don't think anything else is going to fit. I can try. I love carving with the Dremel. That's one of my favorite things. That's exactly the problem, ain't it? Like, there's only so far in I can go. I wonder if this would get me any further. Yeah, I can reach in there with this. It's just like, period, whether I can do it at all. I've been putting this off because it's really not a good idea. Trying to make something flat with a round object isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. I think I have enough experience with like free grinding that I can do this, but it's not exactly recommended. Flexible shaft handle, but I was kidding. Oh look, he just pulled out a flexible shaft. I know you were kidding, but it's genuinely the only option. Because I have thought about this before, I just haven't wanted to because of, you know, the fact that it's basically freehand, flat, and that's really not a good idea with this. How the hell? Can I, like, freaking get this out of the way? There we go. Wait. How the F does this work? Does that work? So there's basically a long flexible shaft in there that will rotate with the Dremel, and it will spin this. There is a bit of backlash, so you got to be careful, but it should be fine. You got to go very slow with this. I'm going to be checking everything often. Because it's going to be very easy to go way too far with this. I might just switch back and forth between filing and this. Mask is going on, so I might sound a little funny now. Let me just, let's just test it out here a little bit.
I'm just going to go a little bit into it, a little bit less than an inch, maybe like 3/4 or something. Camera froze, camera froze. Yes it did. Hold on.
I'm gonna restart this. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. Okay, I'm gonna restart the stream. I'll be right back. Alright. Should be back here. Can you guys see okay? Everybody back? Everybody good? Let me know if everything's going alright. Let me check my phone here. I think everybody's letting me know. Yeah, everyone's letting me know that I died. Okay. Sorry about that. Only thing you guys missed is I did this one, and I'm starting to work on, or I was about to start working on this one. I'm only going in a little bit here just to test this out. Sorry about that. Mask is going back on. Alright, here we go.
Also need to be careful because doing this for too long is a good way to kill your Dremel. Something this hard. Oh god, the focus. Is that because of this? My bad. Probably hitting something somewhere along the line.
Let's file this down just a little bit. Let's just smooth it out. Nothing too fancy. Either way, I'll still have a lot of work cut out for me, but I'm hoping that this will mediate that. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think it helped. Okay. I think I need to work on back here, actually. Oh wait, it's backwards. Oh, that fits so much better when it's forwards. Yeah, I think that's working. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's working. We're definitely further in than we were. We're now past the angles here. Or not past, but, you know, like at. I don't know, we're a little past. Yeah, I think we can do that. Still gonna be a lot of work, but I think we'll get there. Hold on one sec. Alright. Back at it. I want to make sure I check my Dremel every now and again for heat, because I don't want it to get overheated.
Going a little further in now.
Oh my god. I need hearing protection in a second. I like the katana adapter idea. Whew! That is loud. And we'll come back with the file and just kind of smooth everything out here a little bit. Let's get a smaller one. It's looking good, it's looking good. I think this might work. Still a lot of work here, but I think the Dremel will help. I don't know how the heat is gonna go. Let's do it in bursts. I need to keep checking it anyway, so I guess that kind of lends itself to that. You know, keep checking to make sure I'm not going too far or anything. Ow. my god, this might actually work. Definitely needs a fresh coat of paint though. Cool. Yeah, I think we'll get there eventually. That's just going to take a lot of work. But I think the Dremel will get us there a little bit faster. Hoi! Got such a long way to go here. Trying to stay positive, trying to stay positive. Let's go. I regret my decision to make this one piece. It is a lot of work for a 1/2 inch worth of in. And I still got all that to go. I'm starting to wonder if I need to rethink this. That is a staggering amount of work in front of me. That's daunting, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright. Here we go. Oh. That is a daunting task.
That is a daunting task indeed. I guess there's really nothing to do but just keep chipping at it.
Not dead, just moderating our nerf server. I appreciate it. Knowing that you're not dead.
Arguing about ABS and PLA, but from a business standpoint. How's that going? Someone is trying to convince FDL Jesse to switch to ABS because his FDL got melty in a car. Well, I mean, people are willing to buy PLA. ABS is better, but people are willing to buy PLA, so it's cheaper to make, it's cheaper to produce, it's cheaper usually to buy. So, why would they switch? Yeah, that's him. RZ. Okay. This side definitely fits better now. I think. I just gotta work on this side. I think that's gonna be the way to do it. Just chip away at it with that Dremel. Smooth it out with the file. I think that's really the only option I have, to be honest. It's still so much work, but I gotta get there. Its properties are better in virtually every way. Its heat resistance is better. It's not as fragile. Blah blah blah. It's just harder to print with because you basically need an enclosed 3D printer. OMG, a guy asked Slug if he works on a real engineering team. Well, I mean, it's not extra setup for me because I print in ABS, but I also have an enclosed printer, so it's no water off my back. Alright, back at it.
Here we go.
Make sure my Dremel is fine. Feels fine for now.
Oh man, that's loud.
I just need to gather my thoughts. This is primer for PVC, but I'm wondering if I can use it as sort of makeshift dye. I don't know how well it's going to stick here, but oops, sorry. Probably not very well. It's not very even, that's for sure. I need to point my fan in here, good lord. Get that smell out of here. Do have to wait for this to all the way dry though, because it's has some solvents that'll hurt the plastic. So, although we are at 3 hours and 4.5 minutes, so maybe it's time to start wrapping up. Might just take this to work tomorrow and throw some Dicom on there. Maybe order some on Amazon so I have it later. Yeah, it's not really sticking on there very well. It's taking a lot longer to dry than it should, so it's probably not going to. It should have already dried by now. It's not really. Okay. How much do you think it will weigh when it's complete? Around 8 pounds. At one point when you started drumming, my wife thought I killed our oven. Yeah, that did not work. I think I really just got to keep chipping away at it, but it's so daunting to even look at, to be perfectly honest. It's just a lot of work. Can't even reach my freaking Sharpie in there. Alright. I think I'll do one more Dremel pass here.
Brace your ears.
Yeah, this one's been going for about 3 hours and 10 minutes, so I'm slowly dying here and losing heart, being discouraged because of how much work this is, but Welcome. At least you didn't lose a knife. Did you lose a knife? I lost my pair of 3. Aw, bro. That's messed up. How'd you lose it? I feel for you. What kind of pair of 3 was it? I'm sorry, man. That sucks. It's either lost in my room or a Home Depot parking lot. Dude, that sucks. Yeah, that blows. Yeah, I think I really need that Dicom. I'm gonna go order some. I'll take this to work tomorrow and put on a coat. But we got this done. So that's good. And we didn't put any texture on this because we decided not to, but we Scotch Brighted this up a little bit. Made that all shiny and pretty. So I think we've done pretty good for ourselves today. This is the last major piece. I have a few bits and bobs there. Oh, we also got this done. I have a few bits and bobs like the metal posts, the metal rods, or not rods, tubes, the metal tubes, that guide, the foregrip. And I mean, that's pretty much it. We're wrapping up on this pretty quickly, so just a few more things. This magazine well really is 99% of the work right now that's left. But yeah, Pocket Javelin's coming along nicely. So hopefully things continue in this direction of nice. Hopefully I can get this magazine well done. It's very daunting right now, I'm not gonna lie. It feels right now like I don't have the ability to do this. But I think it's just going to take a lot of time. So, hopefully I'm just being a pessimist right now. Hopefully I'm just being sad. Hopefully I can actually get this done and that everything works smoothly. But this is a lot of work. Hopefully I can get this done. You got this, boss. Thank you. I appreciate that, homie. You got this, Hawkeye. You can do it. Thank you for your words of encouragement, people. Just gotta keep believing. This is definitely the stupidest thing I've ever done. This is the finish line, though. 5 years of work. I'm right there at the finish line. I can feel it. Oh, you know what? We're not done with this. We still gotta do the inside of these guys here. I forgot about that. We'll get that later. Don't let me forget about that. But we're at the end of a 5-year journey. We're at the finish line. I can feel it. Just gotta keep going. Just gotta suck it up. Are there easier ways to do this? Yeah, but this is what I have available to me. This is how I wanted this to be done, so just gonna have to put in the elbow grease if I want it. It's a lot of willpower. Gotta put in that willpower though. Can't just come out of nowhere. And I think we're good on accomplishments for today. We are further along now than we were when we started, so further along than we were an hour and 20 minutes ago. Or 3 hours, 20 minutes ago. And like the journey, don't stop believing. And like Journey, don't stop believing. Alright, I think I'm going to start wrapping down here. We got 3 hours and 19 and a half minutes, so I'm going to start wrapping up here. If you guys have any last questions or comments, go ahead and start leaving those, and I'll see if I can get around to those. Don't stop believing. Gotta be careful, you know how YouTube is with those copyrights. I say that as kind of a joke, but not really. I think we're pretty slow here, so I don't think we'll have any I don't think we'll have too many questions. Never really do, but that's alright. Slow Sunday, slow Sunday. We got a good boost there for a little bit. Went up to like 11-ish. So that's pretty good. Have a good evening. You too as well, Homely. Thank you, sir. Always appreciate having you on the stream. You are too kind. Alright. I think that's going to just about do it here. I appreciate every single one of you guys who stopped by, who have stayed in from the beginning, who have, for whatever reason, watched the stream. If you are not live and you somehow made it this far, thanks. I appreciate you a lot. I don't know why you made it this far, but I do greatly appreciate it. And you guys are the best. You make this work a lot less work. There's no way I could do this amount of work without you guys, or at the very least, it'd be years and years and years on end before I got anything done. And so you guys definitely help with that process. Still arguing? Alright. Alright, for the last time tonight, thank you guys very much for watching. And end stream.